A federal appeals court just ruled that New Jersey regulators can't stop Kalshi, which is one of the top prediction markets, from letting users bet on sports outcomes in an April 6th ruling. In a 2-1 decision, the judges declared the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, that's the CFTC, a federal agency, has exclusive authority over Kalshi's event contracts. It's the first time ever a federal appeals ruling is setting precedent in this central question of who controls the prediction markets. Is it the states, which have historically regulated and had responsibility for gambling and gaming, or is it the federal government under the CFTC? This decision might redefine what gambling actually is in America. I'm Neetha Bidway, and this is Good Revenue. You'll find links and resources to everything we reference, including the rulings, in our show notes. Let's jump right in. Billions of dollars are at play as prediction markets increasingly allow people to bet on absolutely everything under the sun, not just sports outcomes, but also elections, celebrity breakups, and even war. And the volume of trading is really staggering and growing. As of January, Kalshi traded $10 billion, with $1 billion of that value coming from the Super Bowl alone. Kalshi and Polymarket are the two top platforms, but it's very clear that they're not going to be the only folks running prediction markets as these markets grow. DraftKings, FanDuel, and Fanatics are all rushing to join these massive revenue streams. And we'll talk about this in a minute, but they're also losing revenue to prediction markets. Now, Kalshi and Polymarket call prediction markets trading, not betting, and therefore they claim that what they're doing is financial speculation governed by the CFTC. States, on the other hand, say that this is gambling, plain and simple, and that it has to be regulated in accordance with their laws. On March 17th, for the first time in U.S. history, the state of Arizona filed criminal charges against Kalshi. The state accused the company of illegal gambling and election wagering, including bets on local races, which is forbidden by Arizona law. Arizona's attorney general said that, quote, Kalshi may brand itself a prediction market, but what it's actually doing is running an illegal gambling operation and taking bets on Arizona elections, both of which violate Arizona law. No company gets to decide for itself which laws to follow. Kalshi retaliated by claiming that the states are trying to overrule federal law, and they have sued to try to move the Arizona case to federal court. Kalshi has preemptively sued Arizona, Iowa, and Utah because all of these states have publicly said and are working towards regulating prediction markets. And this seems to be the playbook for Kalshi in particular. They try to race to the courthouse and they seek to secure injunctions before the states can actually act to regulate them. The federal government is getting into the litigation business too. The CFTC just sued Arizona, Connecticut, and Illinois, asserting its right to exclusively regulate prediction markets. The CFTC's chair is a big fan of prediction markets, and in a recent amicus brief, he argued that these markets are commodities exchanges, not casinos. So this fight has now expanded. It's not just Kalshi versus the states. Kalshi appears to have secured the support of the federal government in its fight with the states over who gets to regulate prediction markets. Meanwhile, there are 21 ongoing lawsuits around the country. States like Nevada and Massachusetts have also issued injunctions against Kalshi. Nevada in particular is a big deal, obviously, given the strength and size of its gaming industry. Ohio also has a federal judge who is refusing to block enforcement of the state's laws, citing the state's police power to protect public welfare. So again, this is a very live issue. Now, turning back to the Third Circuit ruling, which just happened today, April 6th, as we're recording. This court ruled against New Jersey regulators, saying that the CFTC has exclusive jurisdiction over Kalshi and prediction markets. The state gaming commissions, therefore, are unable to block Kalshi's operations, and this is historic. This is historic because it's the first federal appeals court decision that sides with the federal government against the states. But it was a split decision, and the dissenting judge is very clearly on the other side of this issue, saying that Kalshi's events contracts look a lot like traditional gambling to her. And that dissent keeps the door open for more challenges. All of the legal analysts seem to think that this is going to end up in the Supreme Court. Despite the win, Kalshi still faces obstacles. Nevada's injunction remains in place. Massachusetts has a ruling which is tied up on appeal, and a federal appeals court is due to take up similar questions in just another week in San Francisco. And so the expectation here is that there's going to be a fractured legal landscape and that the states are going to continue to fight back against Kalshi while the CFTC tries to put weight in for the prediction markets. And the last topic we wanted to talk about, one of the core issues with prediction markets is very clearly about sports. Sports-related bets on Kalshi are now generating an estimated $1.3 billion in annualized revenue, according to reporting from the Financial Times. And there is an increasing threat that prediction markets like Kalshi and Polymarket are going to basically take business from the $14 billion U.S. sports betting market. For example, the stock of DraftKings has been down as their sports revenue declines, and it appears from the Financial Times analysis that it's because those revenues are moving over to prediction markets. The FT also noted that its analysis of Kalshi's data indicates that the platform's annualized revenues for sports trading account for roughly 90% of its fees. Monthly active users on Kalshi's platform have jumped dramatically. It was approximately 600,000 about a year and a half ago. And as of February 9th, it's said to have about 5.1 million people. So you can see how the size of this market has expanded dramatically. And you can also see why Kalshi and Polymarket and others are fighting so hard for the very lucrative sports betting business. And on the flip side of this, because prediction markets blur the line between trading and wagering, that's a fight between Wall Street and Las Vegas that is unlikely to be resolved in the near future. And with that, that's all we have for you today. As always, thanks so much for joining us. If you're still with us, hit the subscribe button and we'll be back in your feed in a few days. Thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard, leave us a review, subscribe to the show, or check out another episode. We appreciate your support.